All right, everybody, let's take a crap on this film. Hey, everybody, what's going on? I'm Vincent Didiano, host of Silver Screen Stand-Ups, the movie podcast where we get comedians together and crap on films that, well, frankly, got it coming. This time, I am joined by Krish Mohan. Mohan. Known the guy how many years and still get that name wrong. Goddamn.
Got it.
That's what I do.
Mohan. Krish Mohan.
Still not the worst.
Yeah.
I like Mohans personally.
Yes. Krish, and we got Derek Minto, two local
It's Derek Minto, actually.
They're Minto, damn it. I'm just...
Murtaugh.
Murtaugh? Okay.
Yeah, Murtaugh.
I'm just
Minto.
fucking shit up left and right.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's what we do.
Hanno.
Oh, you got it right. Wow.
You're welcome.
Wow, finally.
Nailed it.
I feel special.
Nailed it.
You got it.
But anyway, everybody, thanks for tuning in. So the movie we took a look at tonight is from about 10 years ago, called Cirque Du Freak, The Vampire's Assistant.
That's how old that movie is? It's 10 years old?
Yeah, it's about 10 years old, yeah. Right?
That's
I
upsetting.
mean, it's timeless in its shittiness, though. Let's
Yeah.
be clear.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. It exceeds all boundaries of time and space and all mediums. Like
And how
in
bad
every
it is.
way. It's bad.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, this was back in the day when the Harry Potter films were still going strong, you know? They,
Which one were they? Were they like on the second one at this point?
I believe when I checked earlier, no, they were farther along than that. They were on like the 6th or 7th one.
Oh,
By the way,
holy
it does
shit.
not justify what we saw.
No.
Not even remotely.
No. For those
No.
you don't know, Cirque Du Freak: The Vampire's Assistant is based on a series of books like all the other fucking Harry Potter competitors that came out during that time. My understanding is this one, they took the first two books and smashed them together. And it's
Can I tell you right now?
Go.
You told me that.
Yeah.
Before we watched the movie.
Yeah.
And after I watched it, I had this thought. I'm like, wow. There wasn't even a book's worth of substance in
No. It's like, what happened?
I can't believe that. Like, what the fuck was the first book?
That's what I want to know, too. I was like, yeah, when I watched the ending, I was like, wait, how does the first book end?
Well, I'll actually tell you because I did look it up.
Okay.
So, a quick plot synopsis for everyone listening in and watching, or whatever. The movie is about a young boy named Darren? What?
Dan?
Darren? Darren?
Dickless?
Why might as well call him Dickless?
I'm fine with that. Yeah, we're going to get it.
Child of Walter Peck.
I love it. But anyways, him and his best friend, they go to a freak show, and it turns out one of the freaks is a vampire. His best friend, Steve,
yeah.
is played by Josh Hutcherson, which most people know as PETA from the Hunger Games. He's obsessed with vampires, where Dickless is obsessed with spiders. I'm going with the Dickless.
There's no justification for,
for either.
This is the only justification. There's this one scene that they clearly cut from like a cut beginning of a Spider-Man movie,
Yeah.
where it's like a DNA sequence and there's like a spider marching its way down it. Real briefly, no explanation of it, and then it just cuts away. It's like, this guy fucking loves spiders.
And this guy loves bats.
I know.
There's no fucking...
It's like, and they explain later in the film, I guess this goes along with it, like, you know, I know I'm skipping some of the plot synopsis. Plot synopsis, Dickless becomes a vampire, Steve, who was bitten by a spider, the very thing he loves, irony, I guess. And then John C. Reilly is his vampire mentor, and they have to fight the evil vampires that are called Vampanese, which, once again, I get this is based on a book, but
they were trying to appeal to an Asian film base, which was a growing market at the time.
Oh, yeah. This is right before the China thing happened. It was right
Chinese vampires.
Yeah.
Vietnamese vampires. Camperies.
Vampires almost sound like a feminine product. Is it that time of the month? Do you need a vampires?
Warn off the vampires.
Yeah.
With your time of the month with vampires.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Ugh,
So, yeah.
bad.
Yeah, this movie, it just... I'm assuming it does the books no credit. Because from what I understand, there's about 8 or 10 of the books I believe.
Wow. I mean, what? After seeing this movie, if I had a child that owned these books, I would burn the books. And I've only thrown away one book in my entire life. That was Great Expectations. So, but that's a whole personal thing. I don't condone the destruction of books ever. But
except for this one.
I want to go back
these
to something
books.
you said, Vincent, which really, really pissed me off, and I didn't realize it until you said it right now. Remember that part of the movie, the dumb movie we watched?
Yes.
Where the guy's like, I'm going to turn you into a half vampire. So you're gonna be like Blade. You know, you're gonna have all the powers, but you can go out in the sunlight. But I'm like, why isn't this asshole a half vampire?
Why is that an option?
The only problem is it doesn't seem like he has all the other vampire shit, but he can go out in the sun. Like, what the fuck is this horse shit? Like,
Why was that available to like everybody all the time? Like, why is that the caveat for vampires in this film? If they can just become half vampires with 100% of the powers. Like, I don't understand what the drawback is. Like, there's always a catch. There's always a catch when you go half of anything. It's like, oh, he's a half werewolf. He's just not as strong as the other werewolves, but he can control his transformation.
Yeah,
like
even in the movie Blade, he can still go out in the sun, but he suffers from crippling kleptomania. He has to steal everything from everyone all the time. All their gold chains, wristwatch, and everything. Like that. I mean, that's
all their sunglasses.
All their sunglasses and trench coats. But damn, did he look fine?
He did.
He did.
We miss you, Wesley.
Can we just talk about the movie Blade for a while? Do that.
I am on.
The first Blade movie was fucking awesome.
Yeah. It had a little bit of that *90s cheese, but overall, it was a good movie. I watch it again anytime.
Yeah, it's very good. It's the only thing Steven Dorff ever did that was good. That's that fucker's name?
Steven Dorff.
Steven Dorff, yeah.
Steven Dorff.
Really, that and those one of those water vapors smoking machine commercials. You know what I'm talking about? Those electronic cigarettes. That's
what?
He did electronic cigarette commercials.
My god.
That's
a vapinies.
But no, honestly, the only part of the movie that kind of sucks is when he turns into the Blood God, El Jiboe, or whatever the crap it is. Because that part just looks, the CGI blows.
Yeah. It's just a step ahead, like Mortal Kombat, but that's not saying much, you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's whenever they first figured out what CGI was.
Yeah. Did you guys ever see the alternate ending to the movie?
No.
Oh god.
No. Blade loses, right? Is it some shit like that?
No. Blade doesn't lose. It's not necessarily an alternate version of the Blood God. Instead of him just becoming a super vamp that he just heals instantly, the Blood God transformation turned him into a blood tornado, and his face would just stick out of it and taunt Blade. That was the original, and there's footage on the DVD of this shit.
Thank God they used that ending for the movie The Hulk. When his dad becomes a storm, he has to fight.
It represents the storm was inside of him.
What?
Fuck you, Ang Lee. God damn it.
He beats up dogs, okay, but they're evil dogs. It's okay.
No, but they're super strong evil dogs. Okay.
He beats up a dog and a missile and a bunch of other stuff, and then he has to fight a storm.
That kind of looks like his dad, a little bit. Maybe.
Bit.
We're going to take a portion of the Hulk comic that is it.
Blade's so good.
Yeah.
It really does hold up, though, that Blade movie.
Yeah. So does the second one.
Second one's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Second one's pretty decent.
I don't remember. I remember not liking it, but that was during my snooty movie phase.
Well, it's directed by...
Yeah.
Well, the second one was directed by Guillermo del Toro, and I like Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
So
I do, but I feel like that was a step for him. I didn't feel like he made a really good American movie, until he made Pan's Labyrinth. That's me personally.
That's fair.
Okay.
But we will agree to disagree. But Blade 1's really good. They got fat vampires, the blood vampire scrolls. I don't want to talk about the real movie. Am I making that clear?
It's it kind of fucks up all the vampire lore too. I feel like the transformation scene kind of sucks.
Yeah. You mean in this movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what hot garbage? He touched his fingers.
Oh yeah. He pricks his fingertips.
He pricks all his fingers. He's like, let's touch.
The lamest.
Patty cake, vampire.
For having evil vampires, not once do you see an evil vampire eat a dude. Even the crappy teacher who no one liked, that Rainn Wilson knockoff, Like,
You just get slashed in the face, kind of, and then like you I feel like this movie wanted to be edgy and gritty, and just didn't have the balls to do it.
it wasn't even like PG-13 gritty. Like,
Yeah.
It was just like,
Yeah.
we're gonna hover around a PG.
Yeah, the grittiest it got is that they did cuss in the film. Like, they say bullshit and ass and stuff like that.
But even that, it just seems so unnatural when they did it.
Yeah, because
All of them are forced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it totally is. Especially my favorite scene where they're like the vampanese that come to the Cirque to come get the main character. I don't know why he fucking sucks so hard.
So bad.
And the one carnival freak guy, he's a dwarf, but his head is really tall.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, head is like literally like 3 feet like long, and he's like, I'm gonna shove my head right up your ass. I lost my shit.
That was pretty funny.
That was actually like a pretty funny line.
Yeah. I love it because it's like I picture it as like a reverse version of that episode of South Park where like Stan's dad took the giant shit and he goes up the shit.
Oh,
but,
the
like,
Kirk episode, yeah.
Yeah. That was a great episode.
Yeah, that it's amazing the amount of money they spent on that prosthetic to give him one line.
Yeah, I know.
Like one line. Oh, other than him telling Christian Shaw, which, by the way, out of all the things that are really bad in this movie, that is a travesty that they use that woman for 2 scenes.
2 scenes.
2 scenes. They have her bite a shovel in half because shovels are known for their tensile strength and their rigidity. That's when I think something that's very strong and powerful that's going to take down things. I think shovel.
Yeah.
She bites a shovel in half because she has the powers of a beaver, and then
she has giant fucking.
And then
teeth.
later, the long Peter Dinklage head looking motherfucker. The guy with forehead for days rejects her because she's not enough of a freak, and then she kisses this like 14-year-old boy
and then
hard
slaps him.
Yeah.
And then she slaps him and she's like, no, and runs away. And I was like, what is the point of what happened there?
She is a national treasure that should not be abused in such a manner. Like, they're just like, let's just get the chick from Flight of the Conchords. Let's just throw her in here.
What? Like, she didn't serve, like, half the freaks in the movie didn't even serve a purpose.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. You can totally tell, like, I mean, beyond, if I didn't even know, once again, there's 2 books smashed together, the movie just feels rushed, because it just feels rushed. There's no fucking character development, except for the main character's hairdo, and it's fucking ridiculous. His hair.
Yeah, his hair.
I know this, like, anybody listening or watching right now, I know this thing can seem like a ridiculous thing to, like, talk about or harp on, but like the character's head, he's like supposed to be like the good boy with the perfect family, just what his parents said, but he's really like he's really an ass. He's an elitist.
He's kind of a dick. Yeah.
He's a super dog bag.
Yeah, his hair. He starts out with like the hair bowl haircut.
Yeah,
like his hair,
with
like,
the hair down.
bangs, yeah. And then he turns into a vampire. His hair kind of like, okay, yeah, that's what kids in that during this time period have their hair like, goes back a little bit, and then he gets a leather jacket, and all of a sudden his hair gets moosed back.
Yeah, he becomes like Keanu Reeves in the Matrix.
I think you encapsulated it perfectly, Vince. You're like, his hair has better character progression and growth than he does.
Like, there's actual change there. I see it. Like,
he's also like, the whole acting of this kid is terrible.
Yeah.
Which sucks is because like my wife and I have been watching a bunch of like movies with and shows with like kids. Like, we watched Wrinkle in Time and we're watching Sabrina, and it's just like the kids in the show are just bad actors. Like, either they overact or they do what this kid does, where like everything is flat. Yeah. There's no emotion, there's no range in what he's doing. None of it's believable, and it's just like, you're just phoning it in.
Like, the evil kid was like a better actor. Like, all the side characters who had lines, like Serpent Pal.
Yeah, the Serpent dude was great.
It is in his magic snake band, which, by the way, terrible.
I thought that was hilarious.
It was hilarious. They fucked it up. But like, he was a way better actor, which is that's the guy from friggin' Almost Famous, right?
Yeah. I forget his name, but yeah, no, that's like Krish pointed this out when we were watching in the beginning. We were like, because the opening credits, there's a lot of notable people here. I mean, you got John C. Reilly playing Cripsley, the like, he's like the
head vampire.
Yeah, the Obi-Wan vampire Kenobi. You got Ken Watanabe. You've got Selma Hayek.
Playing the exact same character he played in Batman Begins.
Pretty much. But he's got like a weird skull shape now.
Like, that is what they had to do. They're like, let's get that guy. And they're like, how much does he cost? I don't know. He owes the studio like 2 movies. Let's just put him in.
Let's just get that guy in and not worry about writers or story development at all. Like, let's just
say
not do
one
that.
of the most attractive women in Hollywood, Salma Hayek. Let's put a beard on her, which, by the way, is still completely fuckable. Like,
Oh, God, no,
Super hot.
Yeah, she's like, how old is Selma Hayek right now? I feel like she's like in her early 50s at this point.
Yeah, probably.
But she looks
She has
fantastic.
to be.
She looks
She
great.
still looks fantastic.
Well, she was probably in her 20s when she did From Dusk Till Dawn, which before that she did Desperado, and before that she did that other movie. So she was probably in her 20s then. So it's like early 90s. So you think about that, and then do some math, and that's probably like she's like late 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
She looks great.
Anytime you make out with Antonio Banderas, he steals life force from you. So that's probably added a couple years. So
It's true.
it's a fact.
Everybody knows that about Antonio Banderas.
No,
That's part of the reason why he only does animated movies now.
Yeah, they should have made a movie about him. That would have been good.
If the movie was about Antonio Banderas sucking the life force out of very beautiful actresses, then I think this movie would have a better plot than what it actually had.
I'm down for that. I'll see that shit.
Yeah,
I'd watch.
I'll watch a 7 movie arc about that.
Yeah.
He's like a whole new different kind of vampire.
Who else was good? Christian Shaw was in
Christian
it.
Shaw was in it. Willem Dafoe had like he also was one of those things. Is like you brought him in for the beginning for some exposition bullshit, and then you brought him in at the end where he's like, "We're all gonna fucking leave now."
You're
It's just like,
General now, Harry. Like, oh my god.
with this weird pencil mustache, which I like. How many shitty costumes are we gonna put that great actor in?
Slick guy with a charisma score of 18 walk the fuck in there and just sold these people on this. We have an amazing opportunity. All right, think Harry Potter, but what's popular right now? Vampires. It's a vampire Harry Potter young adult movie. Multiple roles over multiple films. Your roles will be expanded, and also there's a big bowl of cocaine. Like I don't know what they gave these people. Like I can't figure out how they got all these people. Like,
How do you convince somebody like Willem Dafoe to be like, you're going to be in this like vampire movie that really doesn't show off the true skill of what a vampire is, but you're also like a badass vampire in the lore of this movie, but you're not going to do any cool vampire shit.
Like they had to shoot all these people like for 2 days. Like that's how they must have gone away with it.
Oh, Willem Dafoe, definitely. They
You can't afford Willem Dafoe for this entire for that movie. No fucking way.
No,
Is
he
Willem
did 2
Dafoe-
days of shooting.
Yeah.
He did like his 2 scenes and that's it. Like
And then he was like, I gotta go figure out how to do the Death Note movie.
But also Orlando Jones is in it. That
Yeah.
Was,
and he's got a bigger part than like half the notable actors in that movie.
well, it's not like he's doing a lot, you know.
No, he's not.
After those Make 7-Up York commercials, you know, his career skyrocketed.
After he did that one killer scene in Office Space.
He was great in that one scene.
He did
He's
good.
in what, The Longest Yard?
And Jane
Krasinski.
Yeah, she's in it
Yeah.
as a woman who can regenerate her limbs, and her and Orlando, they just
Super underutilized too.
yeah. I mean, you have a movie about vampires. You have a character who doesn't want to drink blood, despite the fact he's a vampire, tough shit kid, and you really have a person who can spare you all the blood you could ever need.
Yeah, because she regenerates
Yeah.
like as fast as Wolverine does.
Yeah.
Like,
And they also have a werepoodle, which
Yeah.
was I believe.
Oh yeah,
I believe the mocap was done by Tom Hanks. So
let's talk about this. So I am always very big on, because even the movie's like 10 years old at this point. Even today, I'm still big on using practical effects when you can over CGI. CGI, it has its place in movies, but if I can get a guy in a suit with some animatronics, down for it. We had this with the wolf boy, wolf poodle, wolf fucking skunk, I don't know. And yet it just looked unappealing. It just looked bad.
Yeah, it was just bad.
I know. It's like, it wasn't like,
Yeah.
it wasn't scary. It looked like it had some, it looked like it.
it was incredibly dumb and just dumb. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the most rise you get out of the whole thing is like, did it just scratch its balls?
Yeah.
Fine, don't touch me.
I felt dirty about trying to do that too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, there were a lot of weird little special effects. The one special effect that actually did look cool was Salma Hayek's beard growing in. I thought that was well done.
Yeah, but you can do that with a woolly willy.
You
like
can.
you just magnetize it onto that bitch. Like it's not that hard. Go give me $2. We'll go down to the dollar store.
What was
Salma Hayek have a
what
beard.
was the speed running thing? Flitting.
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 Which does not sound like anything a vampire would do. That sounds like a fairy thing. Like a little magical duster. It was like, I'm flitting. This is...
And even that, I mean, some of those scenes just look like they were just like, all right, fast forward this part, and that'll be the film. Like...
This looks like they threw paint at the screen whenever, like, because they have, like, the streaking effect, and it just looks bad.
And they also, like, the thing that was particularly annoying about that effect is they had these colors of them, like, and this thing, John C. Reilly's made sense because they were the colors that he was wearing.
Yeah.
But none of the other two had that same effect. Like, it was different colors than they were wearing.
Yeah, Nicholas had, like, mostly green with hints of blue.
Greens and blues
and he was wearing a red jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, his weird fucking Star-Lord jacket.
Yeah. Oh, my God. And that jacket looked like the exact inside of a collapsed colon. Red and irritated with hints of brown and occasional, like, that green bile color. Oh, man.
That's where the green came from. The green kind of come from the shittiness of the jack.
Yeah, it was just old bile. One of the four humors. Let's get those humors out of us.
Oh, man.
Let them.
Here's a weird part of the movie I don't know if you guys caught, was in the very beginning of the movie when his dad's, like, yelling at him, he, like, sees himself in his dad.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But, like, but then it's just, like, it's gone. Like, they're like, you're not supposed to be friends with this Steve kid anymore. You kind of visualized yourself as your dad in this, like, how you're supposed to live your life sequence. And then we're like, nope, never going to touch that ever again. That's just a weird thing we threw in there for no fucking reason.
Oh, yeah, the first 20 to 25 minutes of film is the most rush. It just goes from scene to scene to scene real quick. It's like, okay, it's just like, here's a character. They know each other. Here's this character, they know them. There's the parents, come on, moving. Oh, we got a flyer, let's go to this freak thing. It's like, slow the fuck down. Maybe give a shit and give me at least someone interested in these characters. I mean,
this is the thing. I kind of have a problem with this kind of horse shit. Like, I really believe that, like, when you start your movies, like, unless there's a really good reason, like, they're like, all right, you got to be a good person and you got to do all the good stuff. That's why I'm dead. Whoa! And you realize he's the guy in the coffin. And it's supposed to be this, like, whoa, what the fuck? How did that happen? Then it's like 2 weeks earlier. Fuck you. Tell your stories in the goddamn order they're supposed to happen in. Like, eat a hot bag of shit snakes. Like, fucking, you shit bags. You fucking, I'm so clever, you hack fucks.
Yeah, it's like Quentin Tarantino did it once, and then everybody's like, let's keep doing that forever.
Yeah, but it doesn't serve the narrative
it doesn't do
whatsoever.
Anything. It didn't do anything.
It's like, well, let's confuse them. But it doesn't pay off in any way whatsoever.
Yeah.
No,
because we get to that point in the film like 30 minutes in. You get to it about a third of the way through, so it's not like this big thing at the, we went through an hour and a half movie to see how we got to this place. No, you got through about 30 minutes. And okay.
And then the rest of the movie happened, which the rest of the movie wasn't all that fucking great to begin with.
Oh, yeah, the second act is just like, he goes to the Cirque camp, and he's meeting all the freaks.
Can we also talk about that they refuse to call it a circus?
Yeah.
And they call it the Cirque the whole time. Like, there are these people who are into the industry of Cirque du Soleil. I don't even know how you say that. I've seen it. I've seen it. The water one. I think it's called. And I've seen it. I don't even know how. Cirque du Soleil. How do you say it?
Cirque du Soleil.
Thank
French.
you. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But, like, why? Why do you have to make the word circus cool? Listen, circuses suck. We all know they suck. Vincent, you made the face like you like circuses. I'm going to tell you right now, you're wrong. They're very bad. The animals are abused. People are shit everywhere. There's clowns. That's not good.
I fucking hate clowns. I was having this conversation just the other day. When I was a kid, my uncle took me to the circus. As a kid, I was having a good time, but at the end of the circus, you had an opportunity after the show where the parents could take the kids down and you could ride on the back of one of the elephants.
I think it's ride on the back of one of the clowns.
I thought that too. I was like, that would be awesome. I would do that.
No, I'd go to that circus.
But here's the thing. Like I said, I don't like fucking clowns. I don't know why. I've just never liked them. And if you wanted to get on the elephant, one of the clowns was helping the kids get on top of the elephant. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I didn't want
so you didn't ride an elephant because there was a clown there?
Yeah, no, I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was already I was very shy as a kid, so having a clown come anywhere near me was not helping me. So part of me, I wanted to get on the elephant. It would have been cool. Would have been a great story. But there was a clown, and that's where that ended.
Here's the thing. So what are the elements that was never
If
really
this
fleshed
statement
out?
ends with you justifying circuses in any
No.
way, I'm going to beat you to death.
It's not. It's gonna bring it back to the fear of clowns.
People getting beaten to death right here on the Rivers Edge Network.
You heard it right here, Brian, you motherfucker. You listen to me right now. Look into my goddamn dead, fat, sunken eyes. I will murder the fuck out of Krish Mohan in your goddamn dumb studio. I don't mean dumb. It's actually very nice. It's a very nice place. I'm sorry. Continue.
And we will not get any blood on the green screen. Don't worry, it won't happen. But one of like the most under what developed fucking parts of the movie is the villain. Like, there's just no development of the villain. Like, nobody knows what he is. All he seems like is just this crazy fucking dude that wants to create the apocalypse.
Mr. Tiny!
Mr. Tiny.
By the
know what?
By the way, completely racist against fat people.
Super, yeah. By the way, I think Mr. Tiny, we don't know what he is. All of a sudden, he has these crazy magic powers that can turn vampires into tiny elf vampires. What if he's a clown?
Let's be clear. They turn them into Dolbys.
They turn them into Dolbys.
They give them a
Cannibalistic
sock,
Dolbys.
and then they're free, and then they later fuck over Voldemort somehow, I think. I didn't finish the Harry Potter movies. That's what I assumed. But the walking scrotum homunculus thing, yeah.
What if he's a clown? What if that's his thing?
Yeah, he's like Pennywise's brother or some shit like that. Oh, we just came up with a way better plot in like 2 minutes.
Holy shit.
I won't lie, that is better. That's better. I was trying to deny it first. I'm like, that is better.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Who directed this movie?
I don't know. I'll look it up.
It doesn't matter. They probably shot.
It doesn't matter.
Right
Whoever that is, they're dead.
They're probably it's
By the way,
going to be like really upsetting too when we find out who it is.
People at home can probably see the poster behind Vincent. And I am very surprised that they fucking made a poster for this movie.
All right, directed by Paul Weitz.
Paul Weitz.
Does he have a career? Is he done? Like, he should be done in the industry.
He's done a lot of producing, directing.
Yeah, they don't let him write
the
movies.
last movie he directed, Bel Canto, and then he's directed multiple episodes of Mozart in the Jungle.
We've never heard of any of these things. Is this on like ESPN 12? Is that where these shows
Mozart in the
are?
Jungle's on Amazon.
Oh my God, he directed American Pie.
What?
Oh, this makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God.
This makes
okay.
perfect sense.
But
So
only
it's just a giant
That's
joke.
why he fucks the monkey girl.
Yeah.
But only the
This
first,
makes sense.
Yeah, but only the first American Pie. Okay.
So
wait,
somewhere.
Could you see if the monkey girl is the same girl from the television show Girls? I kept
Are you
looking at her.
serious?
She looked like super familiar.
We're on the
Alright, hold
IMDb
on.
portion of the show now.
IMDb,
Jessica.
silver screen and stand-ups. This lady was on a TV show. Was it this one that I said?
No, she's been on just Cirque Du Freak and like her big credits are Cirque Du Freak and The Big C.
wow.
Big C means a thing. I'm not gonna repeat because I respect wimmies. It's women because I had to slant rhyme.
Okay.
That's like the two factions of women. There's like women, and then there's wimmies. and we have to.
It sounds like someone like trying to make the word swami feminine. Oh, it's a female swami, a swami. You know.
La Swami.
It's like someone's like trying to like, oh, you know, you're female swamis because you know you hang out with swami. Your dad's probably a swami, right, Krish? Like.
My mom's a Swamis.
Yeah, your mom's a swami.
All right. We're going to take a minor break from talking about the movie because let's talk about you guys for a minute. Because both of you guys, we got to give you a shout out to what you guys are doing right now.
Oh, this is the commercial portion.
Yeah, kind of. Let's do a shout out. So, Derek, what's going on with you? Because you are doing a lot of things down at Ham Bones in Lawrenceville. Tell the people about what's going on there.
Oh, man. Oh, there's so many things going on there. Ham Bones is open 7 days a week. They have excellent food. They have entertainment. It's a really nice place. They have beverages. They have places where you can sit. There's places where you can stand. They have pinball. They have a lot of really, really good stuff. They have signs in the window. They have doors now. We lost those for a little bit. There was a fire and it was crazy. We have a basement now. You're not allowed to go down there because fucking private. But there's an upstairs too. You're not allowed to go there either. Mostly just the bottom level that you can go. You can stand there. It's really good. And I think that's it. I think that's all I have going on. No!
There we go.
Oh, I messed it up. John, I'm sorry. I know John's not watching this. He's probably Ubering or using Tinder to have sex with ladies or men. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not a judge. No, I've been running. Me and John Dick Winters, and actually, I mean, a whole group of people have been helping us. We've been running. We've kind of Him Bones for a while has kind of become a hub for stand-up, and we've kind of in the past month we just kind of formalized that. And basically, all that means is we just have shows every weekend now. 2 shows Saturday, 1 show Sunday. All stand-up. Just strictly stand-up, nothing else really as of this moment. And yeah, it's been going pretty well so far. We've had a lot of really nice support. We've had a lot of people help us out. And, I mean, it's pretty... We don't want to call it a non-profit, but it's basically been a non-profit because none of the money it's not like me and John are like making any money off this. All of it's just going back into advertising. But the point is to have just kind of like a place, a dedicated space for stand-up that isn't the Pittsburgh Improv, which doesn't really support. I mean, I'll say it right now: the Pittsburgh Improv doesn't really support a stand-up scene. That might change. I mean, but they don't, and that's because they're a big business and they have their pool of comics and that they use, and that's fine. But it's not for us. And the arcade's also a great place. They do stand-up, they do improv, they do all kinds of things too. But it's not their focus. I mean, they primarily do improv. It's more of an improv theater than it's a stand-up theater. Like, absolutely. Their money-making thing is improv. But no, we've had a lot of fun with it. We have shows every single weekend. You can always check us out at www.burningbridgescomedyclub.com. And, of course, we have the Burning Bridges Comedy Festival also going on this year in March. So you can check that out. It's right on John Dick Winters' birthday. I'm sure you guys all have that tattooed on your arm sleeves because we all have arm sleeve tattoos. Or at least John thinks everyone does.
One of my logos is tattooed on John's hand.
I know. Which
is so awesome.
Which is like every single time he's ever like a dick to you, I look at it sometimes and I'm like...
Like I technically kind of own a piece of John.
Yeah, you own a little piece.
I branded him.
You should take it back. Like you should rescind the flesh from his arm. Like I rend this flesh from the arm of John Dick Winters, and hereby declared for Krish Mohan and his father, the Swami, and his mother, the Swami. So on and so forth. It's going well. We were doing a contest all month right now. To answer your question, no one else will be in the contest. That's who we got this year. It's just something we're trying. We might not do it again. We don't know. I mean, it's really been a new experience for us. It's been kind of
you guys have gotten some like really fucking good road.
Yeah, I mean, we've had Sam Talent, Ben Roy. We're gonna have Stuart Huff. Krish, you're gonna be on that one in January. We have
Dave Stone was just there too.
Yeah, we just had Dave Stone on Sunday. That show basically sold out. That was great. For a Sunday, but you can't beat that. And he was great. He was chubby. He was nice. I touched him a lot. He has really good texture.
That is what I've heard about Dave Stone. He's very touchy.
And we have tons of great programming. We have Robert Kelly coming, I think, in February.
He's huge.
Yeah.
That guy's like
he's
a fucking
super
legend.
fat. He's like 350 pounds. A really big guy. It's going to be really hard to move him around. We got to get a dolly or something. I don't know how we're going to do it. But we got him, and we've been pulling to lots of different kinds of acts. Like we don't want to just support. We want to have a variety of different people too. Like we really have. We want to headline some local people. Like we want to do a bunch of different things with it. So
and you guys have the residency
right
on Sundays as well.
Yes, we do. Thank you, Krish. We do, and that's the other thing we were trying to really encourage. Like community-based involvement is we just kind of have a comic, an up-and-coming comic, somebody who's not. Like reached the level where they're like they've headlined yet, but they're kind of in like that middle feature area where they have like between 10 and 20 minutes of material. And when it's just giving them an opportunity for a month to just kind of focus on their material, we put on a bunch of shows, we talk about what goals they want to work on, we give them opportunities based on if they want to host more, they want to produce more shows, they want to work the soundboard, or they I don't know, anything they want to do. We help them and we try to just encourage them, just kind of build it as an artistic endeavor, which I hate saying about stand-up. But yeah, that's it.
All right, cool. Krish, what do you got? What do you got? Want to tell
I'm not
about?
doing anything right now.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, back to so the part of the movie where Dickless.
I'm still on the road for the time being. I'm working on the new hour, which is getting there. I feel pretty good about where it's at. I've been working on this show for like a year and a half, since like July of last year. And then at the beginning of February 1st, I'm going to be recording it in Pittsburgh at the Funhouse at Mr. Small's, which is somewhere in the complex of where we're recording.
Oh, yeah.
Vincent's going to be on that show.
I am.
Stacey Fluorine, she's going to be opening up. And
cool. Stacey.
I call her Floramine. I that's not how you say her last name, but that's how I say it.
Yeah.
Like you're just mispronouncing
Like
the
Mohan,
element.
you know?
Owen.
Yeah.
Or Diddle Hands, you know?
What the fuck?
Oh, that sounded bad. I didn't mean to like that. I retract that nickname. I'm sorry. I did not mean to. I'm sorry. That's how comedy. You know, it's good comedy when people are apologizing.
It's just real edgy comedy.
It's real edgy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to imply that your fingers touch people inappropriately.
Yeah. And then my wife Liz will be opening up the show with some music. So it's February 1st at Mr. Small, at Funhouse at Mr. Small's. And then I'm still doing Forkful. The writing slowed down a little bit just because of the wedding and catching up with a bunch of other stuff that we're doing. And so is my podcast, Taboo Table Talk, which Derek's been on. Both of you guys have been on that.
Oh, yeah, good time.
That's it's just that's a show.
I blacked out. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was a good show. We talked about comedy, and then
I just remember
Rage
Andrew
blacked
Frank
out.
was hanging around in the background the whole time, scowling at me.
Yeah,
He's like, I should be on this episode. And I'm like, dude, you hang out with Krish all the time. Relax, man.
And then I actually did a podcast with Andrew Frank in my car.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
It's about time he got one.
Yeah, it was good. It was a nice episode.
I love it.
I just love the idea of you doing a podcast and Andrew Frank just lurking in the background, pacing back and forth.
I'm just making zucchini and scallops. I'm like, that's not a combination. One's too moist. The other one, you can't get the sear right. What are you doing? That's the wrong pan. Sorry.
Used a bowl.
Don't apologize.
And it was not oven safe. But yeah, that's still doing all those things. But yeah, I'm trying to work out a better schedule for writing and releasing stuff because going in depth in issue-based comedy stuff can be hard. There's a lot of research stuff involved, so but that's what the holidays are for.
Oh yeah, I
When
can't
you
do
say
research.
research, do you mean reading Politico? Is that what you mean?
Part of it is reading Politico and going, look at this fucking shit.
What is this?
What's Chomsky got to say about? That's a lot of what I
What do you mean,
every
Washington
week.
Post? I have to pay for a subscription if I want to read more than 6 articles a month. What do you mean? I'll change my IP.
Yeah, a lot of what I do is I go on Washington Post and I comment, what the fuck do you think Chomsky's going to say about this? That's most of what I'm doing now.
Keep an eye out for Krish Mohan on the Washington Post website. Give him a like.
Do you even know who Dr. Richard Wolff is? Do you?
Do you understand the power of Dick Wolf?
Gung, gung.
Yeah. All right. So we gotta get back to the movie
the
now.
advertising out of the way.
Just for a little.
I love Blade 3.
I love that this movie has caused such
It's
trouble.
just so fucking bad. No one watch it. Like, can we just, everyone promise me, the 3s of you that are listening right now.
There's 7 people live right now. Let's make all 7 of you sound off and make a promise.
Because probably one of them, Mom, don't watch this. Like, don't watch this. Like, I mean, it's just so bad in like this really innocuous way. Because it's not. The parts of the movie aren't necessarily bad. You have some great actors, but you have a really. This is a classic example of picking a really, really bad lead.
God.
That pretty much tanks the movie because there is kind of an arc to the character in a way, but you would never understand that through his acting because it's so flat and drab. Like it's unbelievable because he doesn't even look that good.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, well, at least he's super fuckable or some shit. Like, oh, man, there's schlong on this guy, but it's a 10-inch python that blows come out that tastes like pineapple. Like, it's not that. It's not that at all. It's like, oh, this guy's firing up blasted Dole Whip every which way.
He's just like as vanilla can get, and I get like that's what you're supposed to see this guy as, but is like this. He's this bland fucking generic dude that's in like this 50s household where he's like, oh, you're supposed to go through this traditional way of life of like go to college and it's like, but he's like the epitome of that. Like he takes being bland to the next level, which is I should would say down to the next level.
Like, John C. Reilly's fun in it, but it's not because of the movie or clearly the direction. It's because he just kind of did parts where his own thing. But when he's trying to be, like, badass and, like, cool, it's just, like, not believable.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not with the way he is. Like, he plays so many parts so good. He plays so many good outcasts and weird characters and fun characters. Like, look at, what's that goddamn, the Ballad of Huey Lewis.
Oh,
what is it?
yeah.
Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Ricky, yeah.
No, not Ricky
No.
Bobby.
Oh, Walk Hard?
Walk Hard.
Yeah.
Walk Hard.
Huey Lewis? I don't remember what that was.
Yeah.
He's so fucking funny in that movie. But he actually is like a really great actor in parts of that, too. I mean, he's done serious roles. I think he's in Platoon and a bunch of other weird shit.
Oh, yeah, in the 90s.
Cyrus?
Yeah, in the 90s, he usually played serious roles. Yeah. No, it was funny that he transitioned to comedy.
He's an incredibly talented actor. I can't. The hard thing was, like, I can't see him as, like, the badass vampire that's, like, supposed to keep the peace between this war that used to... And then arbitrarily at the end of the movie, like, when Willem Dafoe's character comes back, he's like, oh, once a general, always a general. It's like, what are you talking about? None of that was ever brought up in this movie, that you were even part of some weird fucking vampire army that had a truce of... Like, they don't explore any of the reasons, any of the motivations, any of the stakes, pardon the pun, of like this whole big thing that you're setting up. Like, none of that shit is talked about. And he's also, like, as an actor, I don't see him as a badass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think if he was like this quirky, weird hero, I would have bought that a lot more. But I think they took this movie and they were like, oh, let's get this funny, quirky actor, and we'll give him some weird little lines, but we'll still kind of make him a badass. That's just a wrong choice.
These are the casting decisions clearly made by a man who made a movie where someone fucks a pie.
Yes.
You just think about it. Like, really think about it really hard. Just take a moment. Vincent, shut off your goddamn mind hole for a second and open up your seventh chakra.
Oh, God.
The chakra where your pie goes. And just think for a goddamn moment.
Is that
this
your
is
chakra
all
face?
the machinations. Shut the fuck up,
Sorry,
Krish. You don't know a goddamn thing about chakras. Oh, wait a minute. That's like your people's thing, huh?
Yeah, I got
a
a color chart.
Anyway, keep concentrating, Vincent.
I'm concentrating.
Gonna go right back into that chakra.
Like, is every single part of this, like, now that I know it's the pie fucker guy, like, you think about it. You're like riding his high coattails. He probably took a couple years off Hollywood. And what's he gonna do? He's like, I'm gonna make something for the children. I'm gonna make my Lord of the Rings. And that's what this is. This is a really shitty bad version of some Lord of the Rings horseshit. Like, there's like, we're going to build this big thing, and there's going to be a great fight with the vampires, the vampire-istas.
Selma
Hayek. Her boobs will be there. That'll be good. We'll get Kristen Shaw. Her
teeth will show up.
Her teeth will chomp. And
we'll have kiss an underage boy and then slap him in the face. That'll be pretty hot.
But, like, it seems like, clearly, but he seems like the kind of guy that would cast John C. Reilly. Like, he's got depth. Like, I'm surprised Eugene Levy wasn't in the film.
Yeah.
I honestly, Eugene Levy would have made a more menacing villain than that fat, kingpin-looking motherfucker.
No.
Who was that?
Let me look it up.
Who is the actor that played that?
George Fat Tits.
Okay. Before I look up that actor, I looked up the actor who plays Dickless, a.k.a. Darren, the main character.
Oh, it is Darren?
I looked him up. Believe it or not, this guy's still getting work.
It maybe got better.
Okay.
Yeah, he took there was like a 4-year hiatus after Cirque Du Freak.
He went to college.
Because he probably went to acting school. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still getting work. So good for him.
What's he been in?
Let's see. After Cirque Du Freak, Our Wild Hearts, In an Instant, The Match Breaker, Luke's Really Bad Dream, Because of Garcia, The Lumber Baron, The Protectors, and Stay Weird, where he's credited as Creepy Man / Chris.
I don't know any of these movies.
I don't. So he stopped acting after this movie.
All right, Mr. Tiny. Some guy named Michael Cerverus.
Michael Gravy Bones.
Cerverus. He was in.
I love making fun of fat people. I'm allowed. That's my people.
This is another guy where.
Chubby Checker.
Yeah, this is like another guy's where like he's not that big. Like something he was in Fame. from 1986 1987, and he was in The Mexican, that Brad Pitt movie everyone forgets about.
Oh, yeah.
wow.
One of the Mexican, the gun,
That-
that's Mexican.
yeah.
Every time you shoot a guy, he suddenly loves
He becomes
Mexico.
Mexican.
He was in The Tick.
The remake or the original one?
No, the new one. The new one. He
Yeah.
plays Ramses the Fourth.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
you're right. That's why that guy did seem a little familiar. I think he lost some weight.
Yeah, he lost a lot of prosthetics.
Good job, guy. He would go on to be in the next Star Wars movie, would be another Porkins-like character that gets. Good job.
Yeah. All right.
He's gonna play another Jabba
kids.
character.
Fuck you, George Lucas. That was such a hilarious joke.
Oh man. Okay, so here this might be a tough one. Just to see if we can go here. Which character is the best character in the film?
Jesus Christ!
That's what I'm saying. There's a test. For me, I guess I just gotta go for John C. Reilly because he did piss me off. He pissed me off the least. There were moments where I was like, he's like turning crap dialogue into somewhat listenable dialogue.
Yeah.
I go with John C. Reilly's character.
That's fair.
I mean, but actually, we all
Who
think.
do you think, Krish?
It's a tough one. I don't know. Ray Stevens' his character didn't do that bad as like a secondary villain. You know, like his at least his motives were like, nope, trying to bring the war back, and I'm just gonna beat the shit out of
He had
people.
the clearest motivation out of anybody there. Like,
yeah, and he's like, I'm gonna eat a bunch of people. I'm gonna corrupt this little kid, and turn him into like a bloodthirsty vampire, and I'm also gonna kind of know how to fight in this movie because I've done that in other movies. Like,
That would be one thing. If the movie set continued, how were they going to explain how the two boys are getting older? Because they're vampires. They shouldn't be aging anymore. And yet, like in the series that continued, they would have had to explain.
well, they're both half vampires. That's how you get around advanced.
yeah.
No, Josh Hutcherson's character was full vampire. He ate his teacher. I don't think you can still.
Oh yeah, he
ate-
did become a fool.
I'm gonna go with my favorite character being the snake that almost ate that amp. that was fine acting.
I am fully accepting of that choice.
That's a
Or
great
my runner-up is gonna be the lady with the boob tattoos that sat next to the kids.
Oh yeah, I noticed her. She
Yeah.
had like the blonde streaks in her hair.
Yeah, but she had very clearly they gave her a blouse. Like, we gotta show off these tit tattoos, and it was just like it was like
tattoos?
so like
Ah.
tattoos. Yes, thank you. And it was just like so blatantly. It's like, let's show off these babies. Like, it was so just like, fuck
Oh,
off.
totally. I mean, they definitely picked her because she had, like I said, she got the tattoo
Yeah.
right across the cleavage. Like, look, it's kind of an alternative person coming to a freak show. See, that's we brought in
This
people.
is
with
how
that-
we do it.
This is what you want, America, right?
And
See?
then definitely my third favorite character would be that gravestone that hit Ray Stevens.
That was
Oh,
a good
yeah,
great
Josh Eric chucked that thing like it's
They're
fucking
gonna
Captain
totally
America's
kill the
shield.
main lead.
Yeah.
Walter
Oh,
Peckson.
I also have a real big problem with the fucking like. Oh yeah, we don't really use our fists. We're gonna use our nails.
Oh, it's so dumb.
what the fuck are you talking about?
Dumb.
Your fucking vampires just claw at each other, okay? No one's gonna be like, oh no, my
Or
claw.
just fight. Like you have super strength. Who
Yeah.
gives a shit? Oh my god! Like you're biting people.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand, like, whoever wrote these books, I didn't bother to look it up because I'm lazy, but I'm trying to, like, give their vampires, like, special techniques. Like, one of, like, the special techniques of the, Cirque Du Freak vampires, like, their spit can heal their wounds. That was, like, another aspect. They
right.
spit, like,
Yeah.
And they, like, okay, that's
But it is like actually kind of like a like this. This is gonna sound dumb, but I am kind of familiar with some vampire lore kind of stuff.
Okay.
And it is like a thing that's like constantly like brought up like in certain things. It's like they bite people and then they lick the wounds clean, and it closes them up. That's why they do it with people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's at least in that there's a bunch of other things there, like the whole like celerity thing where they move quick and they call it flinting or whatever.
Flinting. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Flint, Michiganing. Everyone drinks water and it's like, oh, my body's dying, but I'm moving so quick.
Oh my god.
Stuff like that.
All right, so I would ask who we all think is the worst character, but I think we're all agreed, right? So it's Dickless.
Oh, Dickless.
Dickless, right?
Oh, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
oh
like
my God.
he ruins the movie. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you kind of rooting for the bad kid, because at least like you kind of understand where he's coming from.
Right.
But like, also, how the fuck are those two characters friends?
Yeah.
Like, Immediately. It's never once established why they're friends. It's just like, hey, let's go on the roof and break shit.
No, there was
I'm gonna
one.
murder a spider.
There was one line. Whenever they did that unnecessary, this is me in the grave thing, they were like, this is my best friend Steve. We've been friends ever since he punched out a kid. And I was like, that's why you're friends with him? Because he's violent?
Well, I think
what are you talking? Like,
I think he defended him. Like the kid that got punched was attacking him.
Oh, okay.
And he defended him.
Right.
But that's still not good to show why they're friends. You told us why they're friends. You didn't show us why they're friends.
It doesn't really explore it any further than that.
And it seems like Steve hates him anyway. He's always giving him shit. It's like, because like, he gets in trouble and his parents are like, you can't see Steve anymore. And Steve's like, so you told your parents you weren't going to hang out with me anymore? It's like, yeah, but we're still friends. We're just going to pretend that, make sure no one else knows anymore. And it's like...
Yeah, it's like you have a weird secret girlfriend.
Yeah, bad acting aside, the main character is just an elitist little shit for like a good chunk of the movie. He really thinks he is like, oh, he's so good. He's got a fucking white picket fence. I think his house has a white picket fence. It's just, oh, God, it's just such... Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Usually something else I like to get into when talking about these movies is, and I don't think once again, I think we're all going to be in agreement here, is like, you watch bad movies. Some of them are just flat out bad, they're horrible, they're painful to watch. And then some of them are so bad that they're hilarious, they're funny, they're entertainingly bad. I'm going to say this one's just bad. I don't think... there's a few moments of entertainment, but not enough where it's like, I'd watch this again. Like, the Halle Berry Catwoman movie. That film is fucking hilarious. Okay? I watched that...
It is funny. It is funny.
On a pilot episode of Silver Screen Stand-Ups that this podcast was originally going to be like a YouTube thing. I did it with Alana Bryce, and we watched Catwoman. We had a great fucking time watching that film. It was it's just fucking hilarious. This, no. Any moment that could have been kind of funny is just derailed by either bad acting, dialogue that's just so generic or cliche, or it's like, I pick who I am, and just because I'm a vampire I can still be nice, or bullshit. I choose my destiny. Fuck you, Mr. Destiny, or whatever.
That was so fucking stupid. Destiny. Oh my God.
I wonder what his deal is.
I thought it was French for the tiny. That's what I did. Can I be honest with you? I just got that. Did you guys know that the whole time?
Yeah.
Fucking shit.
I did.
Maybe got me. Maybe it's not so bad. No. I think you're absolutely right. I feel like it's so middling in so many ways. Yeah. It doesn't accomplish you can kind of see what the art direction, the idea behind stuff was. Like, you look like everyone's dressed in these really bland, plain clothes. It's almost like a place out of time. But he has a cell phone. But it's supposed to be like that kind of weird, timelessy, almost like Pleasantville kind of bullshit. But it doesn't play right because it's not done that well. Yeah. And the school's so it's like there's so many things in it that are incongruent with itself that none of it really mixes well together, and you have so many throwaway characters that don't matter. But it also, on top of that, you spend all this time focused on this character that sucks, that has no character development. Even when he gets fucking vampire powers, he sucks.
Yeah.
And he just instantly, it was not until halfway through the movie does he get a love interest who likes him. I don't know why.
Neither do I.
That's the kind of woman that loves plain oatmeal. Oh man, I love it. I love Grape Nuts. Without honey and not warmed in the microwave, you sick bitch. You fucking monster. And she has a goddamn monkey tail, which, was probably great for lovemaking. But
let's be honest, are they actually going to use that for lovemaking? No, they are not.
I don't know,
why?
Krish.
Wait, why do you say that?
I don't.
But look at. I don't think there's any evidence showing that I think they're going to be creative enough with the monkey tail in their lovemaking. I think it's going to be standard missionary.
Oh,
and that's
really?
it.
But what if she just curls it out underneath and just starts poking the back door? You know what I'm saying? Pretty soon that prostate gets pumped and he starts firing off shots like a ram. You know, that's the expression. His rams come really super hard. I stand by what I said.
All right, we got to wrap things up. We're getting towards the end here. But I'm not even doing that because I'm trying to interrupt Derek.
Is Brian calling? Is that what it is?
Is it Rams?
God damn it, Brian! Just a little more time to talk about this movie. What else haven't we talked about?
Anyway, my favorite part of Blade 3 is.
There's no part of it. Oh, it's the part where Dracula shows up for 2 seconds. It's like, you cool. And leaves. And Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt.
It's so funny, by the way, about that movie. One of the most amazing parts about it is the fact that no one almost did scenes with Wesley Snipes. His stand-in did 95% of the scenes.
Really?
Yeah. He went back between the first Blade and the third Blade. He went batshit insane.
What?
He was having all the tax problems.
Oh.
He was having, like, Patton Oswalt's listen to Patton Oswalt talk about that story is one of the that movie is one of the funniest fucking things to hear about. Like, even like Ryan Gosling, I call him Ryan Gosling now. I refuse to call him Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
I'm calling him Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling. No, but like they talk about them. I'm sure Jessica Biel doesn't talk anything. She's a fucking robot. But, they talk about how fucking crazy it was to make that movie and how fucking bad. That's the reason there's not any more of them. That's the reason that movie's mostly shit.
Yeah,
like,
that movie's also.
I
don't know. Okay, so I guess that explains why Disney, despite Wesley Snipes continuing to contact them, they've never brought Blade into the MCU because, like, he keeps every once in a while.
They didn't have Blade for a while.
Yeah, they just got Blade.
They got Blade back in the past couple of years.
Oh, okay, all right. I've been so focused on like X-Men and Fantastic Four.
It was actually owned by Warner Brothers, I think. Or no, who made Blade? I can't remember.
Universal? I thought Universal.
It was New Line. New Line owned it, which is a division of them. So that's how that stayed there, I think. I don't remember. I'm probably wrong. Don't yell at me. Don't send me emails at derek.minto@gmail.com. Don't do that.
All right.
Only nudes. That's what that email address is for.
All right, everybody. We're gonna end off there.
I just sent you 4 nudes.
You fucking yeah.
I sent you some nudes too, but not of me. I'm gonna let you.
Yeah, he sent you nudes of Dickless.
We've been in contact for months.
A man must bait. Is he not entitled to the profits of his own cum?
It's biblical right there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for everybody
Karl Marx.
For everyone's tuned in, thank you for tuning to this episode of Silver Screen Stand-Ups. We're going to be back next month, second Wednesday of December. Next time we'll be joined by comedians Alex Homiak and Stacey Florian, who we were talking about earlier. He's going to be on Krish's show in February along with me. We're going to be watching the movie The Host. No, not that Korean film with the monster. We're going to be watching that dystopian young adult film that was based on the book by Stephanie Meyer, who wrote Twilight. That was a mouthful, but you need to know
You're really
every
not going to pick a Christmas movie, Vince?
No, I'm not picking a Christmas movie.
That's fucked up.
I picked a movie based on what's coming out that week, and
I'm okay with
Mortal Engines is coming out that week.
Oh, that looks like a tit turner. If I've ever seen one. Oh, your testes in a twist over. That I'm sure that's going to be really good. Fuck Peter Jackson. What happened?
I'll tell you what happened. Wanted money, so he decided to do 2 parts of The Hobbit, a play that my high school did in 90 minutes. So.
All right, Derek, Krish, thank you guys for being on this episode.
Thanks, man.
As much painful this movie was, I think we personally had some fun tonight. I like to think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine. It could have been worse. I drank beer.
Derek's like, fuck you. I don't want to. All right. Well, anyway, guys.
No, not you guys. The movie.
Oh yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Anyway, guys. Everyone, thank you for tuning in once again. We'll see you next month. Take it easy.
Bye.